it really felt like a great final to me. I know the game probably isn't going to go down as a classic, but yeah, I fully enjoyed the day out.
Yeah, it seems like a weird score, doesn't it? 9 points to 2. That just doesn't seem like a rugby league score. But yeah, I mean, great rugby. Despite the weather, I mean, there was one point where there was just this rattling started on the roof, and like, what the hell's that? And then all of a sudden, the biggest bloody hailstones just started dropping. But played continued, so it was a little bit chilly at times, but all in all, a great atmosphere.
Yeah, I think you've got to take that into account now. Whenever you in a grand final, you got all 4 seasons in one day during the game. Yeah, if we're talking about the game, Hull KR played incredibly well. I thought. They didn't suffer from nerves. I think that was the talking point. Are Wigan going to blow them away? Are Hull KR going to get stage fright on the big stage? They didn't, did they? Hull KR really took that game to Wigan, especially in that first half, I thought.
Well, you've only got to look at how close the scores were, and fundamentally there was one major difference, wasn't there? And that was Bevan French.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with this solo try, it was just, incredible. But I actually thought, when I was watching the game unfold, and you try and take into account like how much pressure is being built, it seemed to me like Hull KR were building the most pressure. It seems like they were turning the sets round in better areas than Wigan were. They seemed to be dominant in attack, like, quick play of the ball and that kind of thing. And I genuinely thought Hull KR was really in with a chance because they just seemed to be building more pressure than Wigan.
Yeah, that first 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes as well. I mean, it was, Hull KR really had that territory advantage, didn't they? I thought Mikey Lewis's kicking game was on point. He was pinning Jaifield right back down in their own 10. Contrast that with Wigan's closing sets. I think Harry Smith was rushed a few times on the last tackle, and they didn't quite get the kicks away that they wanted to. So it was really close, and then we just had this absolute moment of brilliance, didn't we, by Bevan French, and it just completely changed the game, I thought.
Yeah, it was an incredible solo effort. Another talking point was the Junior Ensemba incident where he was basically cleaned out on the pitch, wasn't he? And then somehow was allowed to re-enter.
I thought this were interesting. It looked like he was knocked out to me. And I was of the opinion if you got knocked out these days, your game was finished. There was a bit of a late hit as well by Joe Burgess. It didn't really he got shown on camera literally once. I don't know if that contributed to it or not. Like it flicked off on the camera literally once, and they didn't show it again. Yeah, so interesting that he did come back on. He did have a big part to play in that second half. If you were going to go to the moment of the game, what would you give as your moment of the match?
I think the moment of the game was literally Bevan French breaking through because, it was so tight.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably 2. That was the moment when I thought, we're going to run the ascendancy now. Hull KR haven't been able to penetrate their defensive line yet, so it's a little bit unlikely that they're going to do. And then I also thought there was a series of incidents, 3 spilled balls by Hull KR.
Yeah, in the second half.
In the second half, and I just thought this ain't going to go Hull KR's way.
No, they got to that point. They were starting to force it a little bit, weren't they? And they were chasing the game at that point. Once they started forcing it, that's when you could sort of see Wigan were taking control. I think my moment of the game was a bit of an odd one, but I think when Harry Smith slotted a drop goal over just before half time.
Yeah, literally dying seconds of the first half.
And it completely changed the dynamic of the second half because Hull KR were chasing 2 scores at that point. Just that 1 point extra going into half time, I thought really changed the game. If they'd have only been the 6 points behind, I think Hull KR may have played a different game in the second half. But I think, they started to force it, and inevitably Wigan were the victors.
A couple of things we need to shout out. Thank you to Luke, who actually got us to the game. We was on the trams like 2 drunken idiots trying to find our way, and Luke and his family were like, right, come with us. Got us under his wing and got us to the ground. So thanks a lot for doing that. And also Dave, who we met in the ground, who sat quite close to us in the ground, come over and had a chat, and it was great to get a bit of feedback in person, really. And here, he said that he tunes in every week, watches the show every week, and had some good stuff to say. It was great to get that because, sometimes you feel like this is a bit of a bit of a one-dimensional thing where we're just chatting to a camera and we don't always get the best of comments, and so it was nice just to get a little bit of positive feedback. What did you take from it?
Luke was awesome. We were literally we were just following the Wigan fans, weren't we? And it was like, no, you're going wrong way, following Wigan fans. They're all going wrong way. Get on this tram. Yeah, so yeah, Luke, awesome, mate. Nice to speak to you as well.